Okay, so continuing on from last time, we were figuring out the surface area for this triangular prism up here, and we'd already figured out that the area of the base of it, this 6 foot by 4 foot triangle, is 12 feet squared. So there's two bases. So that's going to be, times 2. So there's 24 feet squared for those two sides. So this one is 12, and that one's 12. And then the other sides of the triangle, the triangular prism, are these three sides. We got the bottom of the prism, and then the two sides. The bottom of the triangle down here, this side here, and this other side here, which is behind it. So for any rectangular rectangle, you multiply the length times the width. So to figure out the area of these three rectangles, all we got to do is multiply, in this case, 5 times 7 3/4, 5 times 7 3/4, 6 times 7 3/4. So 5 times 7 3/4. Try that again. That equals 38 3/4. Then the other one is 5 times 7 3/4. It's 38 3/4. And finally 6 times 7 3/4 equals 46 1/2. So we've got, this is 12, this one is 12, this one is 12, this is 38 3/4, 3/4, 38 3/4, 42 1/2. So then the last step of this is to add these all together. And the final answer of this is 194 1/2 feet squared. Because each one of these is feet squared. Okay. We pretty much did all this already. I can go through it again. So, how do we find the area of the faces of the prism? Well, we've got to substitute the measurements we know, which in this case were this 4 feet for the height of the triangles, 6 feet for the base of the triangle, and the edges of the rectangles were 7 3/4 feet, 5 feet, and 5 feet, and 6 feet. how do you have to find the area of 5 different figures? Well, not really, because we know that the two bases are the same. And in this case, this is an isosceles triangle because these two 5 feet are the same length, and all the rectangle edges are 7 3/4. So we have to find the two bases. We only have to find one of them because they're duplicate. These two sides are the same, so we only have to figure out the one side and then the bottom. So no, we don't have to find 5 different figures. We only have to find the area of 3 and then multiply a couple of them by 2. So what is the area of the triangular base? Well, we came up with that right here. It was 12 feet squared. And the work's over here. What was the area of the rectangular bases? The rectangular bases were this 38 3/4, 38 3/4, 42 1/2. And I already erased my work. And an equation to find the total surface area. So if we wanted to write out an equation, we could say that with the pen instead. We could say that L equals area of the base we could say that M equals area of the bottom, and so N equals the area of the two sides. Well, one side, the side. So it would be 2 times L plus 2 times M plus N equals the surface area. I say okay, so they want us to use our own words to explain how to find the surface area of a right triangular prism. Now, in case you don't know, a right triangular prism would be a prism which has got a right triangle for the base. So it's pretty much the same as what we've already done. You need to multiply the area of one of the bases by 2. And then add that to the area of the 3 rectangular sides. Let's do this try it problem. We've got to use what we learned about finding the surface area of a triangular prism to solve the following problems. And they want us to show the work. So we got this triangular prism here, and the surface area is 216 square units. Write and solve an equation to find the value of x. So the first thing we have to do is remember that the base, in this case, is a right triangle. The area to find that is 1/2 base times height. Okay, we'll go ahead and pen 1/2 base times height. And the way to find the area of the sides is just the length times the width, or height times the width, or whichever way you want to do it. So for the base, we got two of them. So it's going to be 2 times 1/2. Because this is a right triangle, either leg can be either one can be the base, or either one could be the height. So 1/2 8x. We're going to add to that. We've got this rectangle back here, which is the height times the width, or length times the width, which is 7x. Pen doesn't want to write very well. Then we've got this other rectangle back here, which would be this side is 8 and this is 7. So I'm going to add 7 times 8. Finally, I'm going to add this front side that's facing us. Height is 7, and the length, one side's 7, one side's 10. So 7 times 10. So once we yeah, that's right. Okay. So in this case, we can cross cancel this out. So we're left with 8x plus 7x plus, let's see, 7 times 8 is 56 plus 70. And we already know that this is going to equal 216. So we got to combine like terms to solve this. So 216 equals 8x plus 7x is 15x. 56 plus 70 is 126. Then we have to get the x all by itself. So we can subtract that 126. So those we can cancel each other out. We'll go with 90 equals 15x. Yeah, it's kind of messy, but that's what the final answer is x equals 6. Okay, so this last problem, suppose a cube has the same surface area as the prism in problem 8. Solve the edge length of the cube. I'm going to work this out and just explain it to you rather than go over it, because I'm running a little bit low on time. Okay, so I've written this all out. We have the a cube here where every side is x. So this side is x, that edge is x, 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 x. There are 6 total sides. Front, back, left, right, top, and the bottom, which you can't see, but in there. And the area of each side is the length times width. So that would be the length is x, the width is x. So x times x is x squared. There's 6 of them. They're all the same. So it's going to be 6x squared equals, that was 216 square units. 216 square units. We can divide both sides by 6, and we end up with x squared equals 36. And when we find the square root of x squared, we end up with 6. And technically it could be -6, but you can't have a side length that's a negative number. Alright, I'm going to work on another one. See you in a few seconds. Bye.